It's a cold, foggy night as you drive along Route 182, also known as Blackwoods Road. The darkness seems to swallow your headlights, making it almost impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. The trees on either side of the road loom like shadowy sentinels, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. As you navigate the treacherous curves of Catherine's Hill, a sense of unease settles over you. Suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you see her. A woman with long, jet black hair, standing by the side of the road. Her pale face is partially obscured by the fog, but her eyes glow with an unnatural light. She's dressed in a flowing white gown that seems to shimmer in the moonlight. Your heart pounds in your chest as an inexplicable compulsion urges you to stop and offer her a ride. With trembling hands, you pull over and roll down the window. "Do you need help?" you call out. The woman slowly turns to face you, and for a moment you are paralyzed by her beauty and the intense sorrow etched into her features. She says nothing, but her eyes plead with you. Without thinking, you unlock the door and watch as she climbs into the passenger seat. As you drive on, the silence in the car is deafening. You steal a glance at her, and your blood runs cold. She's staring straight ahead, her face expressionless, but her eyes are filled with an otherworldly sadness. You try to speak, but the words are caught in your throat. Then, just as suddenly as she appeared, she's gone. The seat beside you is empty, and a chilling wind blows through the open window. Your heart races as you look around, desperate to make sense of what had just happened. That's when you see it, a faint, ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road ahead. You slam on your brakes, closing your eyes as the car skids to a halt. But when you look again, she's gone. The only sound is the rapid thudding of your heart and the whispering of the wind through the trees. Welcome to Acadia After Dark. I'm your host, Reverend Redbeard. The legend of Catherine's Hill in Maine is one of the most enduring and chilling ghost stories in all of New England. This tale, steeped in local folklore, has been passed down through generations, haunting the imaginations of those who hear it. Catherine's Hill, located in the Black Woods, is a section of Route 182, which runs between the towns of Franklin and Cherryfield in Hancock County, Maine. The hill and the surrounding area are named after a woman named Catherine, whose ghost is said to haunt the road. The legend dates back to the 19th century, with the earliest accounts suggesting that Catherine was a young woman who met a tragic end on this very road. There are several variations of Catherine's story, each adding its own layer of mystery and horror. One of the most common versions is that Catherine was a newlywed traveling with her husband to Bar Harbor for their honeymoon. Their carriage or car, depending on the version, crashed on the hill, resulting in Catherine's death. In some accounts, she was decapitated in this accident, and her headless ghost now roams the area, searching for her lost head. Another popular version of this story involves Catherine as a young woman on her way to prom. Her car crashed on the hill, and she died in the accident. This version often describes her ghost as a beautiful woman in a white or blue dress, standing by the side of the road, trying to flag down passing motorists. Many people claim to have encountered Catherine's ghost while driving on Route 182. Imagine driving down that dark, winding road, your headlights piercing the inky blackness. Suddenly you see her, a woman with long jet black hair, standing on the side of the road. Her face is pale, almost luminescent, with eyes that seem to pierce your very soul. A chill runs down your spine as you feel the inexplicable compulsion to stop and offer her a ride. In some stories, those who stop for Catherine find that she disappears shortly after getting into their car. One moment she's sitting there, cold and silent. The next moment she's gone, leaving only an eerie silence and a lingering sense of dread. Others claim that she reappears in the back seat, her ghostly presence causing the driver to lose control. There are also accounts of motorists who did not stop for her, only to experience car trouble or accidents further down the road, as if Catherine's ghost seeks vengeance on those who ignore her, punishing them with misfortune and terror. One of the most famous encounters with Catherine's ghost was reported by musician Dale Whitney. According to this account, he was driving home late at night when he saw a woman standing by the side of the road. He stopped to offer her a ride, but soon realized that she was transparent. Terrified, he sped away, but later returned, thinking he must have imagined it. When he went back, she was gone, but he found an overturned van further down the road, suggesting that the occupants might not have stopped for her. The legend of Catherine's Hill originally surfaced in the 1860s and has become a significant part of local folklore in Maine. It serves as a cautionary tale, reminding people of the importance of kindness and the potential consequences of ignoring those in need. The story has been featured in various books, articles, and even ghost tours, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors to the area. I even went and investigated this location myself, and we'll talk about it some on the podcast. As with many ghost stories, there are various theories about the origins and persistence of the legend of Catherine's Hill. Some believe that the story is based on a real historical event, possibly involving a tragic accident on the hill. However, as far as I've been able to find, there are no records pointing to any specific event. Interestingly, the legend has evolved over time, incorporating elements of other local ghost stories and urban legends. Tales of hitchhiking ghosts are not at all uncommon in Western folklore, and the woman in white type of spirit is a well-known element of many ghost stories. Skeptics argue that the sightings of Catherine's ghost can be explained by natural phenomena, such as fog, shadows, tricks of the light, and the power of suggestion. They point out that the road is known for its dangerous curves and poor visibility, which could contribute to the unusually high number of accidents and eerie experiences reported by motorists. Having driven this road many times myself, I can say that it is certainly spooky to drive on at night, and in fog, I can see how it would be quite treacherous. The murder of Kenneth Kramer in 1983 is another dark chapter in the history of Catherine's Hill. Kramer, a 27-year-old Army and Coast Guard veteran, was found on Route 182 in the Blackwoods with multiple shotgun wounds to the chest. His body was discovered between the night of February 27th and morning of February 28th. Despite extensive investigations and over 100 people being interviewed in relation to the murder, the case remains unsolved to this day. Some locals believe it might have been a drug deal gone bad, as Kramer occasionally informed police about criminal activity in the area. However, the fact that this murder took place on Catherine's Hill adds an eerie layer to the legend, especially considering the road's reputation. The legend of Catherine's Hill continues to captivate and terrify those who hear it, as well as the people of Hancock County. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story of Catherine serves as a reminder of the power of folklore and the enduring nature of human curiosity about the unknown. As a paranormal researcher and storyteller, you find that such legends offer valuable insights into the cultural and historical context in which they arise, reflecting the fears, values, and experiences of the communities that keep them alive. You ever find yourself driving along Route 182 in Hancock County, Maine? Keep an eye out for the ghostly figure of Catherine. If you do see her, would you stop for her? That's it for this week's episode of Acadia After Dark. I've been your host, the Reverend Redbeard. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the darkness of these Maine woods. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video and share it with a friend. And if you're not already, make sure to follow or subscribe, whichever your preferred platform allows. Also, if you're listening on Spotify, please give us a rating. It would really help the show out. Tune in Thursdays on Twitch for the podcast with Q&A, discussion, news, and more. Again, thank you for listening. It really does mean so much. Talk to you soon. Stay safe. Keep your lanterns lit. And stay spooky.